What's going on YouTube? Shout out to Flossy the Boss on Instagram. Y'all go check out his page. Um, I'm just now hearing about this. Rest in peace to this producer, man. I know a lot of y'all are familiar with his work. The gentleman here, he's covering this story. Apparently, Tay Keith wasn't being treated fairly. And there was a lawsuit that came about. I want to share in this conversation and give my input. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's have a conversation.
Grammy-nominated platinum-selling music producer Tay Keith has tragically passed away, just 29 years old. But if that news wasn't heartbreaking enough, at the time of his passing, Tay Keith, who produced 13 of Sexxy Red's biggest hits, was suing Sexxy Red and her label because he never received a single dollar for all of his work. Let's get into it. Born Bratavius Lakeith Chambers, Tay Keith became one of the most respected producers in modern hip-hop. Raised in Memphis, Tennessee, he developed his signature hard-hitting sound while still in high school before breaking into the mainstream with Block Boy JB and Drake's smash hit, Look Alive. He became known for producing chart-topping records like Travis Scott's Sicko Mode or Drake's Nonstop, Eminem's Not Alike, Cardi B's Bongos, and countless other hits. Over the years, Tay Keith earned Grammy nominations, Billboard success, and worked with nearly every major rapper in the industry. Now, on June 18, 2026, Tay Keith was found deceased in his Nashville apartment after police conducted a welfare check. Now, authorities reported that no foul play was suspected.
I'm an older gentleman, and I don't keep up with the music these days, so I'm not really too familiar with a lot of these producers. But I've heard a lot of these songs, and to actually put a face to them is very interesting to me. I gotta give you a round of applause for your detail and painting a picture and a timeline of everything that he had going on. Like I said, I didn't know who he was. I don't know who half of them are, but I digress. Let's continue with this.
It was suspected, and the official cause of death had not yet been determined. Naturally, the news sent shockwaves throughout the entire music industry, with artists including Drake, Travis Scott, Block Boy JB, Moneybagg Yo, and Sexxy Red paying tribute to the producer who helped shape the sound of modern hip-hop. Well, just months before his death, Tay Keith had filed a lawsuit involving music that he produced for Sexxy Red. Keith alleges that he produced 13 songs for Sexxy Red during 2024, but he never received a single dollar in royalties. The lawsuit claims that the songs had generated millions of streams and substantial revenue while he remained unpaid. And of course, the record label failed to provide him with an accounting statement showing exactly how much money that the song had earned, making it impossible for him to calculate the royalties that he believes that he was owed. Now, this seems to be the standard practice for these major labels to these producers. Now, to be clear, Tay and Sexxy Red had a great relationship, and the lawsuit was primarily directed at her record label, Rebel Music. Well, it seems obvious that the record label owes Keith money. He produced all her biggest songs, Pound Town, which was suspected.
I swear, I don't know the lingo and the ins and outs of how their business work. I just never was a grimy person like that, though. If I'm working with you, I try to be fair. I want to break bread with my brothers and my sisters, man. I want to make sure you eating. Now, he's saying this ain't got nothing to do with her specifically. This is the company itself. And the most interesting part about this is you keep hearing stories like this. This isn't the first time I heard about an artist getting screwed over by the company. I keep trying to say they don't give a damn about y'all. They use you. They play off of the notion that you're not going to read your contract, or you're going to have scrupulous lawyers and people in your corner that's going to railroad you and all type of shit. You got to be careful with this stuff. I swear you do.
which is the song that blew her up. The Billboard hit Get It Sexy. Rich Daddy with SZA and Drake. Together, these records generated hundreds of millions of streams across Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Listen, this is typical with major labels. They enter into a contract with the producer, agreeing to pay the producer a royalty, and the producer never receives any kind of statements or payment at all. So what usually happens is that producer assumes that for the first couple of years that maybe the song hasn't really made money or recouped yet. However, when you have songs that are that big, you know those songs made money. So then you call the label and you say, hey, can I get a statement? And of course, that never comes. So then you're forced to pay $5,000 to $10,000 for an attorney just to get the money that you're already owed. You see, these labels bank on you not spending the money to go hire an attorney. Well, guess what? Tay Keith did hire an attorney, and he did file a lawsuit, and he's going to get what he's owed. There's been no official dollar amount that's been publicly disclosed. However, based on the success of these songs, he is easily owed well over $1 million. Now, to be clear, these are all allegations, and it sounds like the label is trying to work it out. Once the attorneys finalize the settlement, which is the song.
In layman's terms, if you're a musician, you better make sure whoever you coming up with, they legit. You better make sure that you read those tiny printed words. I know it's egregious, it's a pain in the ass, but don't rely on someone else to do it for you. You better read all of that yourself. Knowledge is key. Straight up.
Amount, that money can then be passed on down to his family. I do know that Keith has kids, so they will benefit from their father's great work. Now, for all you producers, beat makers, artists, and songwriters, make sure you always have a written agreement, an understanding of a royal structure, keep detailed records, and insist on getting regular accounting. Great music creates opportunity, but properly documented business protects the people who create it. And if you need help with contracts, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm always available. Have a great day. Settlement amount?
I'll say this to the very end. The music industry is filled with demonic spirits, demonic presence. A lot of these people that y'all work with, they do not give a damn about you. They use you to get to the people. That's it. That's all. And the sooner folks understand that, the better. Straight up. My condolences to his family and everybody who was directly impacted by that. For the rest of you that's still here, please take heed. Please.
The record companies really, really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very, very, very devilish.
They profit off us to die. If I die tomorrow, my record label make all the money in the world because they don't give a damn. Because they put insurance on us. That's what it is. A lot of artists don't know that. They sign these labels and don't know. So I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all gonna get these insurance on. When you sign these contracts, you think you got $30 million. They sign that insurance policy. It's about $100 million on your life.
I never got creative control. It was never, I'm not saying the songs I have out aren't good, but they weren't how I would have portrayed myself musically.
Really?
Yeah, like all those songs I said no to. And
really?
They were put out forcefully. So, and you know, people wonder why I was this like acting out crazy little girl. Like I was just forced to do so many, like it was songs I loved so much. That's why, like, when you're asking me that, I'm like, she wouldn't even know them. Like, there were songs I loved so much, like music I wrote, and like, you know, that I would be denied. Because let me explain to you how a label works. They make money if the artist writes it themselves, but they make even more money if they have 5 of their writers from their label and 5 of their producers from their working on
because
the
the writer gets paid off of the song that they write, right? I'm assuming.
And then they get a percentage of that and that and that and that and that.
So how much is the artist taking home at the end of the day?
It depends.
Why are there so many splits?
only
If there's 3 writers, you have to split the money with 3 writers.
Yeah.
Where then you don't make money.